when you stopped the battle. Alright, I won that. I pretty much killed 30 people by myself. Talked to him. Congratulations, champion. You get 250 dinars. It's really not that much. Will there be a tournament nearby? In Jokala and Tolga. I'll just go ahead and show you a tournament, since that's a little more exciting than just melee combat. What's close? What did they say? Jokala and Tolga. Alright, well those are halfway across the map, but let's just go ahead to the Jokala, since they're a little more friendly to us. I always seem to lose my guy when I tell him to go off somewhere. Here we are. Everyone is pretty much patrolling at the moment. If you ever wonder what your faction is up to, you can just go ahead and talk to one of the lords and they'll be like, yeah, we're doing whatever. Usually they focus all their action around the king. And excuse me. Okay, anyways, they focus all the action around the king. Basically just find a lord, say, hey, where's the king? They'll tell you the general area or the city he's stationed in. You go find the king, and he generally is the main source of all the action. Occasionally he'll give you like a war rally or whatever mission. You know, wants you to follow you around with this like giant army. You just go around, kill shit. Or he'll just give you like extremely lame missions like, oh, I'm sorry, but we have an army and we just happen to run out of food. You should go to a nearby village and get us some cattle so we can feed the entire army. Well, yeah, I pretty much just say fuck that. Alright, I apologize for the cut there. Just as I was heading towards the tournament dealing, I thought I was still recording after that, but apparently my antivirus just decided to show up then, and apparently Fraps did not like that, and it didn't record any of the footage afterwards. So I'll just kind of catch you up to date. I did do the tournament. I flawlessly won it just because I've done it so many times before. I'm really not going to do it again because this is pretty much going to be the end of my Let's Play. If you're really looking towards, or looking forward towards the tournament, to be honest, it's really not that big of a deal. The arena deal that I just did a little bit earlier, same thing, except for the fact that everyone, it looks a little more formal or whatever. It's tiered combat, so I mean, it's basically just fighting to the death, like 8 times in a row against different opponents. And then, like, the only thing that's a little different is you can bet on yourself each time, so if you keep betting the maximum every round, at the end you gain about 4,000 dinars, or monies, or whatever you want to call it. So I mean, that's kind of convenient if you're looking for money. Well, but I mean, after that is pretty much the game. Like, after I went out of the tournament, I started chilling around Revenden again, and basically what happened is I had Lord Olaf in my party. As you can see, he's no longer in there, and if you also may have noticed, I am missing 2 of my people. Well, I think you can kind of surmise from that what may have happened. I'm also missing a few things, so you kind of missed the part where I was chilling around Revenden. I found King Gravis, the guy I'm serving, and 1,000 Nords, literally 1,000 Nords just decided to show up in this little forest area. And they were all after me, of course, because I had Lord Olaf in my party, and they were all chasing me. I could outrun them, but what the hell is the point in doing that? So I just kind of charged them. Killed about 30 people, but I'm kind of glad that I kind of missed that part because my computer really couldn't handle running Fraps and having like 250 people on the screen at the same time, which is kind of, my fault for not preparing for that. But anyways, the footage was lost. I mean, it sounds really epic, but to be honest, I had to just throw it into slow-mo just to when I thought I was recording, but apparently I really wasn't. And I eventually just got, I thought maybe I could just keep going around in a circle with my charger, but eventually I just lost momentum suddenly, and I got surrounded, and I couldn't do anything until I just finally dismounted. There were literally 30 people surrounding me, and I just could not move at all. I just dismounted, started crowd surfing because there was just so many people piled up on top or piled around me, and the game did not like that. So I was basically just kind of like floating in midair for a few seconds, and then I was just instantly dead. Like I had over half health, and it's just like, by the way, you're dead now. I'm like, okay, that's fair. So, but I mean, you know, what was I expecting? I think it was like 1,015 people against 10. I mean, maybe if I was in a castle, that would have worked a little bit differently, but whatever. That was like their entire army, their entire kingdom just fighting me. So it was kind of an epic last stand, which pretty much failed miserably. But like I said, I'm probably just going to end the Let's Play right here because I'm going to go ahead and throw in some last final thoughts about this game. Story-wise, this game has no story. Like, you know, there's no difference in the the factions. There's really, like, all the characters in this game are pretty much the same. They just look a little bit different. I mean, there's really no personality at all in any of the characters. The quests are extremely repetitive. I mean, it's just something you don't want to do over and over and over after you've played the game. Like, once you realize that there's only like 5 quests, you're like, well, fuck this, you know? I mean, it's not, I mean, maybe if you're into farming and like you just want to farm reputation for each single character, I mean, if that's what you're into, man, this is the game for you because there's tons of it. But people, I'll tell you this right now, people don't buy Mount and Blade to do quests and just grind reputation. People buy Mount and Blade because it has medieval combat, and this is the only game that I know of today that actually does the medieval combat semi well. And that is because, number one, it's an indie developer, and you can definitely tell that when they made this game, they're just like, we're gonna make the combat first, and then we'll just kind of add in like quest or whatever, so it actually kind of melds basically the battles together. I mean, this campaign map and everything is really just the context to the battle. I mean, it really just gives the battles the glue. So it's not like you're just fighting random battles for no reason. It's basically just you pick sides of. I mean, it's basically. I mean, it literally is just like, I'm gonna choose the color green. I'm gonna fight for the color green, and we're gonna kill the orange people and the teal people and the purple people. And I mean, it's just like, that's it. That's really the only motivation you have for killing other people in this game. That, and pretty much everyone just tells you, hey, those are enemies, you should go kill them. But all that aside, if you're just looking at the game for the combat, this game is an excellent game. It's definitely worth the buy. Like, if you're expecting medieval combat, this game has medieval combat, and no other game does it this well. And while I say that, it could definitely be done better. And I mean that as in, like, I think the people that made this is Tales Worlds or whatever the hell they're called. But if you ever read this review or watch it or whatever, you definitely need to make a Mount and Blade 2, because you just need to. I mean, you can keep the quest system and all that, but you really need to revamp it. Actually, make interesting factions and, you know, make it to where you can just choose whatever faction you want. Maybe have like some interesting characters. I mean, you can't. I mean, there's like 15 lords for each faction. I mean, they're not gonna all be, you know, novelists. You know, main character novels or characters out of main novels. Sorry, I messed that up. Or anything. I mean, at least the kings. I mean, there's only like what 5 factions in this game. So at least the kings could be a little more, you know, have a little more backstory to them at least. I mean, in this game, there's like a pitiful excuse for a backstory. And anyways, there just needs to be a Mount and Blade 2. They need to just add a little. They need to balance the combat a bit more. I will have to say. I mean, being on your horse and like soloing 50 people. I mean, not only is that a little unfair to the AI, as sad as that sounds, it's a little boring. I mean, you're just like running around every battle on your horse, hoping not to die, and just constantly running people over and hitting them. I mean, it's fun, I will say, like the first few times, and you're like, oh wow, I killed 500 people by myself. I'm pretty awesome. But the novelty kind of wears off pretty quick. I mean, I played this game for like a week, 2 weeks straight. It was a really fun game, and like the customization